Hey YouTube, this is Licious Kid from Climax Combo, and we are back with another Leaks of the Week. This week we are continuing Nisekoi, however, this week also starts Persona Q, the new Takapo Extra Booster, I don't know what's that, the real official name for that is, and lastly, the Little Busters card mission or something. Not too, I think this is from the iOS game. I'm not exactly too sure on that, but we do start those extra boosters this week as well because those are coming out on September 5th, which is just only 2 weeks away from when Nisekoi releases. So I guess it's a fitting time for them to start. So this video is probably going to be pretty long just because I'm going to be pretty in depth with Nisekoi stuff and just because a lot of new cards are showing up as well from a lot of other sets. Uh, Before we get started, I would like to say that I don't have that much experience with the capo. I've only really played like four different people. I've played like a yellow soul rush build. Uh, I played like this green build. All it really did was build a shit ton of stock. And then I played the newspaper build. I think the newspaper build is kind of competitive, but I don't think I've really played like the best the capo build yet. And so I'm not exactly too sure what the capo really does. I know it's really good. I hear from a lot of people. However, I personally have not played against it much myself. So I can't give much insight into the capo cards. If you guys do see some obvious the capo synergy, please let me know. This also applies to Persona. I've only really played against a Junes deck and an Execution build deck. I don't really know like the good stuff build. I don't really know. I never really played against that. Not a lot of Persona players I see. I've seen like a Yukiko build, but I haven't really seen that much Persona. And Little Busters, same thing. I'm not that familiar with Little Busters. I know a bit more about Little Busters than the other two, like the Capo and the Persona. So sorry if I can't give much insight on the next three sets, but yeah, uh, I can't know all the builds. But anyways, with that out of the way, let us get started. First off is this one Ochitoge. She is an R. She's 4/5. She combos with this 2K1 here. Yeah, 2K1. First on play, when she's played from hand to stage, she gets plus 1500 power until the end of the turn. So she hits a 106k. Her other effect, she combos with this 2K1, like I said earlier. When the 2K1 is played and this card is in the front row, you may pay 2. If you do, search your deck for one level 1 or lower key or weapon character and put it onto any board of the stage. Then shuffle your deck. Kind of generic card. There are kind of a lot of cards like these where you pay 2 and grab something from your deck and put onto play. Of course, the ideal target of this pay 2 ability would be to grab at least something that costs 1. There's no real point in grabbing something that's costless, because in that case, you're just really hurting your stock. And you do plus 1 because the 2K1 itself is a break even, so you do pay. It's a generic pay 2 plus. However, you get to grab anything from your deck, so I guess it is a little bit more versatile. However, I don't know, just don't really like this card. The best target I receive for this right now is the level assist we saw from last week, the level 1 level assist on Odetta. That's probably the best target you can grab as of right now, in my opinion. However, still, I don't really think it's worth paying 2. You could just draw into the Onodetto. You could even use the 1/1 search event, or you could even use like the level 0 Raku that just on play pay 2 search. I don't think this really merits a climax combo slot. And this is only a 106k on play, and then after that, it's just a wimpy 1045. Pretty weak, 106ks. I'm sure there will be better 106ks. The PR Onodetta, I think, is better than this already. The one that gets plus 1k if you have 5 or more cards in your hand. And those PRs are really expensive, however, but still, I don't think this card is worth the spot just because it's just a 106k on play. If it was always a 106k, then it'd be a lot better. And I think if this climax was a stock 1 soul, so that way instead it would just be a pay 1 essentially because you get the free stock from the climax, I think it'd be a lot better. However, yeah, it does plus. Yeah, it's 2k1. Yeah, she's 106k on play. However, I just don't think she's worth the climax spot, and I don't think she's very good. So in general, I don't think I would be running this, unfortunately. Anyways, on to Tuesday's cards. First off is this Onodetta. It's a 2/1/7k. She is an R. She's sweet Zenki. When she's played from hand to stage, you have 5 or fewer cards in your deck. Return all cards in your waiting room to your deck, then shuffle your deck, then draw a card. And she has another effect, of course, choose one of your characters against, or tap 2 of your key characters, choose one of your characters, it gets plus 2k until the end of the turn. Wow, I'm really surprised. It's been a while since Bushiroad has released a free refresh card. I think the last one that comes to the top of my head is the Gene one. However, that one had some really weird conditions and it was really stock intensive. I think it costed like 3 stock or something. It wasn't really a good it wasn't like a real deck refresher like or like mid boss like Homura. It's been a really long time since Bushiroad has announced one of these, and I'm really glad they did because free refresh is always really good. It honestly saves you don't take the refresh damage, which is a really big deal. And with this Onodera, you get to plus because you get to draw a card, which is really good. Yeah, she's only 217k, but who gives a shit? She's done her job once she's done her free refresh. I think that's more than enough to play her. I definitely think she'll at least be a 1-of in your decks, if not a 2-of if you want to draw into her more consistently. Her other effect, yeah, it's not that great because you have to rest 2 of your key characters. Seems like Nisekoi is going to be a set that's focused around tapping your back row, and I'm sure you could tap your back row for better things like the level assist that gives you the +1 stock. However, I do think this Onodera having this second effect is nice because you never know when you need the plus 2k power. And yeah, overall this Onodera is really good. It essentially heals you 1 because you don't take the refresh damage, and you do +1 because you still draw the card, and you do have the optional effect of tap 2, give something 2k. And she is only an R, not double R, so overall I think this Onodera is definitely a good card, and I think it's going to be at least a 1-of in all Nisekoi builds. Next up is a not so very good card. It's a 2-1 Ludi. She's 7k R, classes sports. So yeah, of course, if you watch the show or read the manga, it's obviously Ludi is not a key character, so I don't think she's gonna be a big part of Nisekoi decks. But anyways, let's see what she does. For every Sweets or Sports character you control, she gains plus 500 power. All Sweets characters are Onodera, all Sports characters are Ruri, so this only really applies to... Essentially, you could think of this as for every other Onodera or Ruri character, she gets plus 500 power. What else she does is when she's played from hand to stage, you may pay cost, which is 1. If you do choose one of your characters, it gains plus against the following build until the end of the turn. When this card reverses its opponent in battle, you may draw a card. So Ludi at max will be a 2-1 9k if you have a full field of Onodera and Ludis. Don't really see this happening because I can see a full field of Onoderas happening. I don't see a full field of Ludis happening just because Ludi is not a very good card, and this is like the only Ludi card we have seen so far. I'm sure your field's going to consist of Marikas, maybe Chitoges, and I don't really see her hitting the 2-1 9k, maybe like the 2-1 8-5. And still 2-1. It's kind of difficult to get her to the 9k because you need to have an entire field of Onodera and sports, which I guess can work depending on your build. But as of right now, I don't think that's gonna really be happening. And the worst part about this card is that you have to pay cost when it's played from hand to stage. If you have to pay the cost on reverse, then of course it would be better because since you have to pay 1 on play, if you don't happen to reverse the opponent's character, then you just paid 1 stock for nothing. And of course, her being only 2-1 9k is pretty wimpy. She's probably still in backup range of a lot of cards. And yeah, in general. And it's not that great. You do get to draw a card, but still doesn't really merit the fact that you have to pay the 1 on play. So in general, this duty is pretty bad, and unfortunately it is an R, but every R can't be good. So this duty sucks. Next up is this, what's her name? Rika. I'm not even familiar with these characters myself either. Anyway, she's 3-2 10k. Wow, she's only an R. Oh, it's the extra booster, my bad. Oh, so she is an R. 2 soul. Newspaper, student council. Recollection, if you have 2 or more cards in memory, this gets plus 15. Pretty sure that's not very difficult. The couple has a shit ton of ways to get cards into the memory, so I'm pretty sure this effect will always be happening. And her other effect is when she's played from hand to stage, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a newspaper or student council character, you may deal 1 damage, and of course this damage can't be cancelled. It seems pretty good. I played the student council build, and that one had the combo where you play the 2k1, pay 3 and then you give 2 characters ping on attack. That's pretty good, and this I'm sure this card is no exception because she is newspaper, so she totally fits into the newspaper builds. And burn 1 on play is not a bad effect at all. And I'm not too sure what the student council builds has to offer myself, but overall this card seems pretty good because it works with both student council and newspaper. Seems pretty versatile, and a ping 1 on play is honestly pretty good. So in general, it seems like this Zika is pretty good. Next up is this Little Buster's Cars 2165 Rin. Of course, animal as per usual. And her effect is for every other animal character you control, she gets plus 15. So with a full field of animals, she's 2185. Her other effect is when this card declares an attack with the climax, I am not getting excited. You may pay 1. If you do, choose up to one of your opponent's character, return it to its owner's hand, and this card gains plus X until the end of the turn, where X is the number of animal characters you control multiplied by 2,000. So if you have a full field, she's 2185, which is hits vanilla power, but she hits vanilla power because she does, of course, have this climax combo. What this climax is, we do not know yet. Unless this climax is in previous sets, then we do know. But as of right now, I'm pretty sure we don't know what this climax is yet. You do pay 1, you bounce something, and she gets a shit ton of power. If you have a full field, she's already 2185. She gets 2,000 per animal character on the field, so she'll be at what 2-1. She gets plus 10k, so she'll be like what 18.5k. Pretty sure nothing at level 2 can get over that. So not a bad card depending on what the climax is. Get to bounce something. Get to guarantee kill something. If your opponent runs a 2 to 3 change, then of course you will be killing that. And yeah, overall this Lean seems pretty good, to be honest. Bounce, at least she has vanilla power, and get to guarantee kill. So in general, we don't know what this climax is yet, but I think this Lean is pretty good. So yeah, that's the Lean for you. Next up, Wednesday's leaks. 104k. This is an R. She's green. She's weapon. Okay. For every other weapon or lady character you control, she gets plus 500 power. Like I've said, every weapon character in the set is Sugumi or Seshiro, this girl, and every lady character is Chitoge. So pretty much she gets 500 per Sugumi or Chitoge on the field. She combos with the plus 2 soul. When she attacks with the plus 2 soul, you may pay 1. If you do, search your deck for one weapon or Chitoge character, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Once again, the plus 2 soul. Honestly, don't really see this card being very good because you need to have a full field of Chitoges and Sugumis. All the Sugumi cards right now are pretty lackluster. The Chitoge cards, we haven't really seen a lot of very powerful Chitoge cards or very good Chitoge cards. Like I said, the really good assists right now aren't Chitoge and or Sugumi. So I don't think you'll ever really hit her 106k that she can hit. And she combos with the plus 2 soul. Not bad. Soul Rush is kind of in nowadays. And you get to pay 1 and you break even by searching your deck for a lady or weapon character. The climax combo is not bad because you do break even. Plus 2 soul, plus 2 soul, it's either hit or miss. And she does gain 500 per weapon or lady. If you're running, this card is pretty good if you're running, I guess, like a fan deck that consists of both Chitoge and Sugumi. Then I think this card is pretty solid because it'll always be a 106k and you break even with the plus 2 soul. Pretty good. But in the best builds that is going to involve Onodera and Tachibana, don't really see this card being used. So not bad for like a fan deck. Pretty solid card pretty solid card in fan deck. However, in the most competitive builds, don't see this card being ran at all. And more Sugumi, 2-1, 4k, uncommon, weapon. Assist, all your characters in front of this gain plus 1k. Her other effect is rest this card, choose one of your weapon, lady, or animal characters that gets plus 1k until the end of the turn. So essentially weapons being Sugumi, lady being Chitoge, animal being Raku, plus 1k. So she can't target key characters. She can't target key characters, which is her thing. And she is only a 1000 assist in front. Right now, all the really good cards revolve tapping 2 of your characters, like the Brainstorm, you need to tap 2. The Onodeta level assist, you gotta tap 2. Yeah, a lot of these card effect and the level 2/1 Onodeta requires you to tap 2. If you need to tap 2, you can't really use this tap. If you want to use her effect, then you can't use the other the other really good effects that require you to tap 2. And yeah, just because this conflicts with the other tap 2 cards, I don't think this card is good because it's only a 1P 1K in front. And of course, she does not target key characters. Key seeing being the most important trait in this set, don't see this Sugumi being played in the most competitive builds. So yeah, unfortunately, more crappy Sugumi cards. Next up is this Nanako 105K, Junes, and Television. Is that their new trait? Were they always television? I don't know. Anyways, if you have 2 or more Junes characters, this gets plus 1k, so she'll be a 106k. Pretty good for Junes builds because if you have double what's her name? Konishi Senpai? I don't know. Right? Anyways, that 1-1 assist, that gives 1k global to all Junes characters. If you have 2 of those rocking in the back, she just is a 108k, which seems really frustrating to deal with. So, and of course you'll have 2 or more Junes characters because the Junes builds, run purely all Junes cards. So she'll always be her 106k power. And yeah, in general, I guess a good card for Junes decks. I think the Junes decks really need a better level 3, but we'll see. Anyways, this next up is Kanata 116k. She is an R. She is committee chairman and twins. What she does, if you have 4 or more stock, she gets plus 1k, so she hits vanilla power. And her other effect is when she's played from hand to stage, you have 3 or more Haruka or Kanata characters, you may place the top deck of your card. You may place the top card of your deck to the stock. So, essentially for twin builds, Bushiroad, I don't know why, seems to have a lot of emphasis on the twin builds. So if you have 3 other Haruka or Kanatas, then she's essentially a free 117k, which is pretty cool, I guess. But of course, you do have to be running the twin build, so don't think the twin builds is the strongest build. So if I guess it's only for those guys who have those fan twin deck builds, which I kind of see a lot of. So I guess you guys can be happy for that. Anyways, Thursday's leaks. Oh, there's going a lot faster than I thought it would be. Anyways, 116k. This is an R. Lady and key as per usual. If you have 2 or more key characters, plus 1k. Very easy conditions because only 2 or more key characters. And hand encore. Oh, when I first read it, I thought it was clock encore. Oh well, misread it. Anyways, she has hand encore and she's a 117k, pretty solid. However, as of right now, I think the way I want to build Nisekoi is I want it to be really costless because it's you're paying quite a lot of stock for a lot of cards. You want to get 2 Pendants of Promise in memory before level 2. That's already 2 stock. You want to get a level 1 Onodeta out on the field. That's already 3 stock. That I want to play for the game plan. And then when you hit level 2, you want to at least play 1 level 3 Onodeta, so that's already 5 stock. That's quite a lot of stock, and I would rather not be playing more stock than that if it can be helped. So right now I'm aiming for Nisekoi, or my ideal build would be for Nisekoi to have a really strong costless level 1 bit set, costless level 1 game. So this 1-1 Chitoge is, it's not bad. 117k with hand encore, or 117ks with encore are generally, not bad, not that great. Kind of generic nowadays, but I kind of want to save more stock if possible with the Nisekoi builds because I think, like I said, a lot of stock is going to be used in the set. So I would like to not use a lot of stock. So this 1-1 Chitoge, I would like to fray away from it just because I would rather not pay stock. But we'll have to see, what the level 1 game has to offer. If the level 1 game's not that strong, then maybe we are going to be forced to run this 1-1 Chitoge because, 117k with Hang Encore, not that bad at all. So in general, not that bad. However, I'm really hoping for strong costless level 1s in the future leagues. Next up is a pretty good Chitoge. She's 3-2, 10k, double R. So red has 2 The double R's for red are both level 3, one being the Tachibana I talked about last week in the other video, the leaked level 3 videos, and this Chitoge, because she is 51, and as we saw, the Tachibana was number 52, so we already kind of knew the number 51 was going to be a double R level 3, but I don't think I mentioned that, but oh well, yeah, just, yeah. Anyways, 3 2 10k, double R, 2 soul, lady, and key. When she's played from hand to stage, heal. Thank God Nisekoi got a better healer, because that Sugumi heal is just like the worst thing ever. Worse than a vanilla healer, to be honest. Holy shit, but at least we now have a better healer. Anyways, what else this card does is she has an effect where you can pay 1, place 2 of your characters to rest. This card gains plus 2k power until the end of the turn, and the following effect: when this card reverses its opponent in battle, you may place that character to the top of the owner's deck. Not the greatest effect, of course, but not the worst effect. You know, not climax combo related. You can pay the 1 to pay out climaxes. You gain the plus 2k power, which can help you reverse things. And then, you know, when you do successfully reverse something, you can place it to the top of the owner's deck. Kind of sucks you have to pay the 1 before the reversing happens, but you know, she does gain the plus 2k, and I'm sure you will be wary of backups before you actually try to reverse something, so you can put it on top of the deck. Anti-encore, you know, guarantee that the next card is a character. Not bad. Really synergizes well with the level 3 Tachibana. Yeah, this is Friday's leak, but you know, I've already talked about it in the last week's video. Because like we know, the Tachibana deals 1 on attack if you have 2 or more pendants of promise and memory. So you know, you can reverse something with Chitoge. She does not have a level restriction, so you can even kill like a level 0, place it on top, use Tachibana, deal 1. You know, that 1 will be guaranteed because Chitoge has top deck something. You know, pretty good. So yeah, overall, this Chitoge, I'm definitely going to see this as the main healer of Nisekoi. Unfortunately, these are both double R, so it's going to be a bitch trying to pull a playset of both of these because, you know, I'm sure Tachibana is going to be really expensive, so I'm sure everybody wants to pull 4 Tachibana over 4 Chitoges because I'm sure Tachibana is going to be one expensive ass card. But, you know, still really good R, a much better healer than Sugumi, and yeah, totally playable. Probably going to be running 3 of these. 3 to 4 of these in the Nisekoi. And another Nisekoi card, 001k, uncommon, lady and key. This card is pretty good. When your other battling characters are reversed, choose one of your characters, gets plus 1k until the end of the turn. You know, not bad. And her other effect is pay 1, mill top 4, place them to the waiting room. For every climax amongst those, choose one of your key or weapon characters, it gets plus 2k until the end of the turn. Pretty solid card. Yeah, it's it's the spammable brainstorm that I was really hoping for, because with this, you know, spammable brainstorm is always a good thing. So the spammable brainstorm I was hoping for with a not bad secondary effect. So in general, I really like this Chitoge, and yeah, just a spammable brainstorm that Nisekoi got, and it's only uncommon, so it's pretty good. Next up is this 00 P4 protagonist, 1500. He's an R. What he does, he combos with the Wind Trigger. So when you play the Wind Trigger, and this is in the front stage, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a cost 0 or lower character, put it to any border on the stage. And his other effect is when this card's damage is cancelled, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card. And once again, the climax. The art is pretty cool for this climax. Oh well. Anyways, not the greatest card because he's a wimpy 15. The Wind Trigger combo is honestly meh because you can only bring out cost 0 or lower characters. Probably his best effect is this one. When his damage is cancelled, you can pay 1 to draw a card. I don't really know if P4, or I don't know if the Persona has good Wind Trigger combo. I don't know. I still wouldn't be running this card. If you want Wind Trigger, I guess you can be running this, but I don't really know what all of Persona has to offer. I guess if you want to run a Wind Trigger combo, you can run this, but still, this combo is not very good. It's a crappy plus. The best thing about this is the Wind Trigger, to be honest. So, don't really have anything to say except that this card is pretty bad. Not that great. I don't really know what to say because I don't know Persona that well. But anyways, in general, I wouldn't be using it. As a standalone set, I would not be using this card, and I'm sure there will be better climax combos than this. Unless you really want to run Wind Trigger, then I guess you can run one or two of him. But in general, I would not be running this combo. Lastly, his other decouple card, 0-0, 2K. This is an R. When this card declares an attack, choose one of your Magic or Student Council characters. It gains power plus X. It's split at the end of the turn, where X is the number of Magic or Student Council characters you control by 500. And this has Hand Encore. I think this card is pretty solid because if you're running a pure Student Council or Magic deck, then you can constantly pump by 2-5. Yeah, a 2-5 boost, which is honestly pretty big deal. And it does have Hand Encore, so if your opponent kills one of your bigger guys, kills this, you can Encore the level 0, move it to an open slot, or just move it to something weaker than it. Probably not much things are weaker than this, but still possible. You can move this to an open slot, attack, and you can keep encoring it to guarantee that one of your characters are always going to kill something. Yeah, I don't know how strong the pure Magic or Student Council builds are, but in general, I actually like this card. I think it's pretty good. So yeah. Lastly, Friday's League. Unfortunately, we've already seen this Tachibana. I've talked about it. My opinion does not change. I think this card is still very powerful, and it just gets that much better with the synergy of the level 3 healer that we have gotten. So yeah, if you have not seen that video, I'll probably put a link to it in the description below. And yeah, overall, Tachibana, really good. The other Tachibana card released on Friday is the 002K Uncommon Police and Key. When you have no other characters, gets plus 2k power. And she has another effect where you can pay 1 to draw a card, then discard a card. 1 second, guys. Oh, you have no other characters. Okay, the first translation I read said that if you have no other characters in the front row, it gets plus 2k. Okay, anyways, just want to double check. Not a bad card. This is the strongest level 0 we have seen so far in Nisekoi. Her being able to hit 4k power. Not bad. Of course, I would have preferred if she gained plus 1 level. But, like the Kirito or the Nico. However, she does not because she has this other optional effect where you can pay 1 to draw a card, discard a card. Those effects are not bad unless you hand filter, unless you clean out your stock, unless you get rid of climaxes from your hand. Not bad. So in the early game, she can act as a 4K beater, and in the mid to late game, she can act as a hand filter and stock cleaner. So overall, this Tachibana is definitely not bad, and she is only an uncommon, so definitely a solid card, and the art is pretty cute. Next up is this Raku. I guess, of course Raku had to get a level 3 because he is the main character. But still, not a very good one because he's a dude and Bushiro doesn't care about dudes. So he's 3-2, 10k, uncommon, 2 soul. He looks really derpy. He's animal and key. What he does is when he's played from hand to stage, all your characters gain plus 1 soul until the end of the turn. And his other effect is when your other key or weapon character declares an attack, he gains plus 1k until the end of the turn. So, if you have 2 other characters, key or weapon characters attacking, he could hit 3-2, 12k before assist. On play, you give all your characters plus 1 soul for the turn. Honestly, in the most competitive builds, you're not going to be running this Raku because, you can give all your characters plus 1 soul by playing a simple 1k 1 soul or a stock 1 soul. If you really wanted to, give all your characters plus 1 soul, and then play a climax so you could side for 1 damage, then you could just play a plus 2 soul. But still, Raku, not good. His on play is pretty shitty, and he hits 12k before assist, but who gives a shit? Because at that point he's just like a vanilla 12k beater, just on attack. And yeah, like the plus 1 soul can honestly screw you over. Because, it might lead your opponent canceling more, and if you want to deal more soul damage, just play a climax from your hand. So overall, this Raku is pretty bad, but he is an uncommon, and he's a dude, so we're not going to put him in our decks, and he's only uncommon, so not that big of a deal. So that is the leaks for this week. Wow, a lot shorter than I thought it'd be. Probably because Tachibana was already announced. The Friday videos are usually really long, or the Friday sections are usually really long, but like I've said, That's why I kind of don't like the leaks being announced early because, makes it less exciting. But still, that is the leaks for this week. Honestly, not as exciting as last week. My most favorite, of course, I think this Onodera is really good. I'm really excited for this Onodera. Unfortunately, why do all these Sugumi cards sucks? The level 3 healer, pretty good. 117k, solid. Brainstormer, pretty good. And Tachibana, the best. And, not a bad level 0 beater. So in general, a pretty solid leaks for the week. As of right now, I'm seeing the level 3 lineup being probably 3 Chitoge, 3 Tachibana, and 3 level 3 Onoderas. I think that is my ideal level 3 lineup as of the moment. But that's just me rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And like I said, if you guys see some obvious synergy with the Persona, the Capo, or the Little Busters, please let me know. I would like to learn more about these sets, but I don't really know because I don't really know much about these sets, so it'd be nice to have some more insight on them. And yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say for this video. And until next time, guys.